All right, Bourbon Quest. Whew. Had some technical difficulties. It's your host, Bourbon Steve. All right, day 7 of the Advent. I'm excited tonight. I'm rejuvenated, not as tired as I was the other night. Sam Houston, big disappointment, but tonight, this old Carter should be good. At least I'm hoping so. All right, so, yeah, that'll work. 1 second, let me get my better spectacles. I didn't even know we were going to shoot and thought I was having technical difficulties. But anyways, alright. We got Old Carter Whiskey Company. Small batch. Never filtered, never cut. Barrel strength, bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky. This is batch number 7. Bottle number 301 of 1,529, 117.2 proof. Old Carter, born from the soul of Somerset. Selected and blended by Mark and Sherri Carter. They do a wonderful job. That's all it says. I mean, on the back. I mean, they give you good information. Well, bottle's beautiful. I've had this before. Excited, really, about this. So anyways, give you a little closer view of the Old Carter bottle. I've never seen these in my state in Tennessee. I know they're in Kentucky, a few other states. I think they're trying to expand their distribution, but I'm just excited that this was the first one of these I've got. I've got batch 8 as well. But tonight we're going to be doing batch 7. A little pour there. Old Carter. They make some, man. Mark and Sherri Carter, they do a great job. Alright. Hope your evening's going well. This is day 7 of the Advent calendar. So, let's make it special, Mark and Sherri. What do you say? Just beautiful nose on that, like brown sugar, cherry, enticing on the ethanol, not overpowering, just seductive. Some spice, but that is so good on the nose. Just color's good. It's just, yeah, brown sugar. A lot of spice on the nose, cherry, black pepper. I'm so interested in that. The nose is beautiful. It's got that come hither. We're about to come hither. Yeah, brown sugar, a little maple, oak, char. Very delicious on the nose, very complex. A lot of interesting stuff going on the nose. I could nose that for a while. That's what she said. But yeah, brown sugar, maple, cherry, that oak char, little orange peel, like toasted orange peel. Man, that nose is beautiful. It's very complex, a whole lot of stuff going on there. But that spice, like toasted marshmallow, toasted orange peel. Right, I mean, alright. Enough about the nose. Let's taste this because the nose is beautiful. I mean, that's like, on a scale of 1 to 10, that's like a 12 on the nose, I believe. God, that nose is good. That's one of the best noses on a bourbon I've ever had. I mean, it's just all over the place. Nothing overpowering, but very intoxicating and seductive. I mean, toasted orange and marshmallow and like graham cracker. Alright, enough about the nose, because what are we here for? I'm here for the taste. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Oh. Man, that is so delicious. It's like so many. It's really hard to explain because there's so much coming at you at once. There's like toasted marshmallow, orange peel, cherry, vanilla, caramel, oak, spice. I mean, this is freaking phenomenal. Very complex. One of the more, I honestly, on that first sip, that is one of the most complex and enjoyable whiskeys I've ever experienced. I'm not going to say it's the best, but man, if you're looking for complexity, this is all over the universe. For real. This is, this deserves a lot more time to be spent with this than I'm going to have time for tonight, because it's so good on the nose. And let me check again. Let's cleanse the palate one time. And on the palate, let's double check that. The nose is all over the place. God bless. Ooh. What is that? It's like I mean, there's that spice and that black pepper, but like cherry and toasted orange peel and marshmallow and caramel and vanilla. There's something else going on there that I'm not picking. I mean, I'm picking it up, but I can't explain it. Dude, Mark and Sherri are amazing. They really are, and I'm so glad I was able to get this. This has been open for probably about 6 months or so. It's really opened up, and I mean, there's some fruitiness, orange peel, caramel, cherry, baking spice, black pepper. I mean, this is really phenomenal. So it's like $200 a bottle. This is a buy all day. I mean, I'd go 300 on it, honestly. Especially if I never had one. I mean, I paid $200 for it. This is a bourbon that you really need to spend a lot of time with and enjoy it, because it's so phenomenal and really extends your nose senses and your palate senses to the extremes. I'm not going to go so far as to say it's the best bourbon I've ever had, but I would say it's the most complex bourbon I've ever had. Like, it has so much going on both the nose and the palate. I mean, it blows your mind. Like, I think there's something there for just about everyone. This is a phenomenal. I mean, they are crushing it. Good job, Mark and Sherri. Like, I love this. Like, I don't want to overhype it too much, and I'm not going to say it's the best tasting bourbon I've ever had, but it is. And you know, I'm just going to say it like it is. It's the most complex and enticing and intriguing bourbon I've ever had. It hits you with, you know, a lot of bourbons you might get 2, 3, 4, 5 different notes and flavors, whatever. This is like pi squared. I mean, it offers so much. And this is my advent calendar. I'm not gonna, well, maybe I will, but I'm not gonna try and carry on too much about this. But at a later time, I mean, this is a girl I want to spend some time with and caress and love and touch in all the right places. You know what I'm saying? Like, it has all that offered on. This girl is not only pretty and sexy, but smart and sarcastic and sophisticated and like, I mean, very complex. Probably high maintenance, but she's worth it. This old cart is worth the high maintenance. I mean, like I said, it's 200, and I would easily pay 300 for it. It's hard for me to go above that, but she plays her cards right, I might. You know what I'm saying? And granted, these are limited releases, different batches. I picked this up probably like 6 months ago, maybe a little longer, right around there. And I got batch 7 and batch 8 at the same time. I haven't opened batch 8 yet. This is batch 7. How many were there? There was 1,529 bottles of this, and I'm falling in love for sure. Like, she's gonna be high maintenance and demand a lot of stuff, but she's probably worth it. Like, God bless, isn't it? There's so much on the nose on this and on the palate. It's honestly, it's a bourbon you need to spend a whole evening with, just going back and forth between the nose and the palate and the experiences. And this is not a wham bam thank you ma'am whiskey. This is one you want to make love to all night long. You know what I mean, Bourbon Quest? Cheers. I'm starting to think I'm getting too sexual in my bourbon expressions, but it is what it is. I don't do it often, maybe more often than I should, but they just bring out that beauty and seductiveness and come hit. I mean, I'm gonna put this in for bourbon of the year. I picked it up. Yeah, I picked it up this year. Man, there is so much going on in this. This is a lady you want to, well, definitely want to spend the whole night with. And if she treats you right, which so far she is, this is a lady you might want to spend the rest of your life with. I'd be alright spending the rest of my life with this bourbon. I mean, it's not a one-trick pony. There's tons of complexity on this. It's freaking amazing. Man, she's got a kick to her, a spice to her, seductive, sarcasm. I mean, all the things I love. I don't know what else to say. This is honestly, I mean, I do have batch 8, and at some point we'll do a video with, if I can keep her around long enough, we'll do a video with batch 7 and batch 8. But right now, which I know it's not going to happen because these are already gone. There's only like 1,500 bottles. But hey, let me know, Bourbon Quest, if you've had not only this one, but specifically this one. I would really be interested to know if you've had the Old Carter batch number 7 bourbon. Leave me your comments on what you think of it, because I think it's freaking fantastic. It's one of the most complex bourbons I've ever had. I won't go as far as to say it's the best bourbon as far as taste and everything, but definitely from a complexity standpoint, and I'm saying it's all over the place in a good way, not all over the place in a bad way. This is freaking fantastic. It just blows your mind from the nose to the palate to everything. I mean, it's phenomenal. So I'd be interested in your thoughts, especially if you've had this specific batch 7. Let me know what you think. If you've had other Old Carter bourbons, I'd be interested in those comments too. At some point, I do have also batch 8. Those are the only 2 Old Carters I have, batch 7 and batch 8. We'll compare them at some point, but this one is blowing my freaking mind. And it's phenomenal. I mean, it's so good. But the greatest thing about it is its complexity. It's you know, this is a lady that is sexy in blue jeans and a white t-shirt or a black dress, or you know, bathing suit to a nightgown to sweatpants and a sweatshirt. I mean, she's sexy in all those ways. And not every woman is, not every whiskey is. This one is. I mean, you find me a girl that's comparable to this whiskey, I'll be in love. Because I'm in love with this. I mean, it's just so complex. It's like whether she's in pigtails or a ponytail or bangs or whatever. This is delicious. But as always, please stay hydrated, my friends. This is probably going to be one of the longer advents that I do, mainly because it's so complex, and I want to share with you as much as I can. And I'm telling you, especially if you get this one, I mean, I can't speak to the others, but I mean, from other whiskey tubers and stuff over there, everything Old Carter puts out is phenomenal. This is the first one I've had. I'm blown away. Mark and Sherri Carter are great people. I've never met them or talked to them personally, but from what I've seen on other whiskey tube channels and stuff, they're just down to earth, great people, do a phenomenal job. And I think if you have an opportunity and the means, I mean, you know, if you don't have the means, hey, it's okay. But if you have the means and are willing to pay $200 to $300 for a bottle of bourbon, it's money well spent. Because, I mean, well, if you watched yesterday's Advent calendar, that same Houston, I paid $130 for it, wasn't worth $30. this old car I paid $200 for. I would easily pay $300 to have this experience again, for sure. I mean, it's freaking fantastic. But we're gonna wrap it up here in a minute. But I want to kind of extend this and share with you because there's so much complexity going on with this. And coming off that Sam Houston, this is phenomenal. With the nose, the palette, the complexity, freaking beautiful. I would say, number one, if you can get this specific batch, which I probably picked this up 6 months ago, so your chances are probably slim. But if you did acquire this and have it, dude, freaking open it. It's phenomenal. And but I'd be interested in any comments specifically on this batch, but any other Old Carter bourbons you've had. I know they also do rye and American whiskey. I've not purchased any of those. I've heard they're great. Everything the Carters do are great, but also I'd be interested in any specifically. I'm interested in those comments too on the Old Carter American whiskey or rye, but I'm more specifically interested in other Old Carter bourbon batches you've had, whether it's 1, 2, 3. I think they're up to 13 or 14 now. I have 7 and I have 8, which I haven't opened. So especially if you have 8 and have opened it and tasted it, I'd be interested in those comments because I haven't opened that one yet. But number 7's racking my world. Alright. So good. Yeah. I'll be interested to see how this does. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in Whiskey of the Year for this year because I acquired it this year. It's phenomenal. It really is. I wish I didn't have to work tomorrow. I'd spend some more time with her. Alright. Yeah. That's going to wrap it up. We'll be back again tomorrow. Don't worry, Reverend Quest. I got your back. Alright. Hey. And before I say goodnight, my wish for you always is that all your Bourbon Quest dreams come true. Good night, Bourbon Quest. Love you guys.